Hey guys, do you feel like you're kind of being socially isolated as a vegan? Do you feel like you're being judged or ridiculed for going vegan? Or maybe you're bombarded with annoying questions and don't know how to deal with it? Well, this video is all about that. So, whether you've been vegan for a while or looking to become vegan, it is very common that you receive a wave of initial resistance from your friends and family members. People ask questions, get excited, get anxious, make fun, get angry, get curious, even get mad. The good reactions are great, but the bad reactions create a serious impact on your feelings, at least in the beginning as you're building your confidence and learning more about this yourself. When I just started, I felt a bit alone inside. I didn't know any other vegans, and I really needed support and tips on how to make the transition easy. I would be lying if I said some of the jokes and the more aggressive reactions I got in the beginning didn't affect me. Back then, of course they hurt me. All the jokes at my expense, the aggression and the sarcasm, the anger, but I didn't know then what I know now. All it needed to show up was for me to be happy and excited about this change, to talk about it with the joy I was feeling, to feel confident in my choices, to make sure to tell and show people that it really doesn't need to affect them or our relationship. This is my personal choice, and the only thing that is different is that I'm a healthier and happier person now. Now, yeah, easy for me to say, right? Well, not at all. I'm actually doing this video for the younger version of myself, for the person I was when I started thinking about going vegan. I know how tough and confusing it can be, and this is why it's important for me to share my experience and my tips with you. Ask old people, 80, 90 years old, what they regret in their life. Do you know what they'll tell you? I wish I'd cared less about what other people think. I wish I'd stood up for myself more. I wish I'd followed my passions in life. I wish I trusted my gut rather than listening to everyone else. I wish I'd taken better care of myself. I wish I'd brushed my teeth and flossed often. It's so important. No, seriously, but someone actually said that to me. Now, I'm sharing it with you because I truly want you to follow what you believe is best for you, to stand up for yourself, and not give so much attention to what's comfortable for people around you. A plant-based diet is a new idea for people. New ideas and new behaviors can feel threatening to a small group because there is a fear. This unspoken fear that maybe the culture of the group will change or end. Traditions may change, belief systems will be challenged. In almost every modern culture, food is much more than just fuel for our bodies. Food is emotions, memories, traditions. Food is a large part of our very own sense of who we are. So when you ask someone, have you ever considered going vegan? It might sound for him or her like everything in your life was a lie. All these years you did it all wrong, you need to give up your friends and family and be lonely with your weird food. So let's understand why do people react the way they do and what you can do to make the situation easier for you and for them. Let's try a little experiment. Think of something in which you feel 100% confident. Maybe it's your knowledge in a specific topic you learned in college. Maybe something at work or in your business that you do amazing. Maybe it's your religion. Now think about someone challenging you on this subject. When you feel 100% confident about your position, when your own actions are 100% connected to your values, chances are you won't feel judged, right? But what if you don't feel so confident? The feeling can be much different. We can suddenly feel defensive of our position, maybe even a little angry. We can feel judged. I recently read an article which there was a part that I really liked. It goes like this. The feeling of being judged comes from within us, not from outside. No one can judge us. They may offer information, they might even question our position, but the feeling of being judged comes from within, when we are not 100% confident. Inside, we instinctively work to end this dissonance. We become defensive. But sometimes, rather than looking within to find the source of this feeling, we often blame the messenger. It is often easier and it seems to make the most sense. I didn't feel judged and upset before this person showed up. This feeling must be because of them. But now that you know that, you should also look on the other person. Often people feel like they are being judged by vegans. You're eating meat, so you're a bad person. Now that you understand that the feeling of being judged comes from within, you want to be kind to them. You know what they feel and you want to educate and not scold them. And this is why it's so important that you educate yourself first and learn about what you're doing. Build confidence in what you're doing and why. Learning more about the health benefits, the environment, the industries will help you a lot when dealing with questions and people's limiting beliefs. Okay, let's go to the next point. Don't be stereotyped vegan. The vegan stereotype is a pale, angry, friendless, preachy, unhealthy person who hates everyone because they eat meat. The fear of those not yet vegan is that vegans are going to make them feel guilty about what they want to eat. You can easily prove this stereotype wrong by staying the same person you were before you went vegan. You want to live by example. Show them that veganism is fun, tasty, and healthy. Make them dishes they never thought could be vegan and still be tasty. Realize that your vegan food might be their only regular exposure to the vegan diet. If you show them that your food actually tastes great and looks amazing, that's what they'll start thinking about it. I suggest you even open an Instagram account and just start sharing your amazing recipes, or maybe other people's recipes. Seriously, Instagram is full of awesome vegan food. Next point, never ever preach. People are turned off by preaching. Most vegans were not always vegan. Most of us learned and opened our hearts because people helped us and showed us the way, not because people scolded us. Often the best thing to do is to wait for people to ask. It is almost guaranteed that someone will ask why you are not eating animal products. Now let's get into the questions part and some strategies and tips to deal with them. People may ask you nice questions and annoying questions, but after some time you will hear the same questions over and over again. For example, I hear, "Don't plants have feelings too?" Or other funny questions. Or I hear, "Where do you get your protein?" Sometimes I get tired of answering the same questions over and over again, but I always try to answer these questions nicely and with detail. If the group is open to hearing what you have to say, that's great. But I find that sometimes it might be best to suggest talking another time if they are really interested and not bring the topic up at the dinner table. Okay, now I want you to listen closely because I'm going to talk about a good strategy to win people's attention and make them interested in what you have to say about your diet, your lifestyle, or anything that you do. When people ask you questions, lead the conversation to what attracts them and touch them the most, to what actually makes them open their ears. Now I'm going to explain. If it's your friends and family, you know them best, so answer in the way that makes the most sense for the group at the moment. If it's with new people, find out more about them. Ask them about their life. Here's the story. One day I was talking to a woman who suffered from osteoporosis. She asked me about my diet, why I do it, and what I eat. Of course, I was very patient with her, and I started explaining while keeping in mind where I want to lead this conversation. What I did was actually touching the topic that is close to her heart, her struggle. And so I mentioned what dairy products do to your body, what actually causes osteoporosis, and so on. I didn't go very deep and didn't want to feel like I'm preaching, so I left her with that. And by doing that, I actually planted a seed in her brain. Now she has the idea that maybe dairy products or animal products aren't so good for her. Maybe she should check out more about that vegan diet thing. And so she did. Again, I didn't tell her to do anything. I didn't tell her that she should cut dairy products or be vegan. I just gave her some ideas that she might never heard of before. And I gave myself as an example of improving my health when I went vegan. Next point, how to deal with the restaurants issue. At the beginning, I always felt like a difficult person when I had to ask for vegan options in restaurants, or even when we had dinner at a friend's house. I was worried that the waiter would roll his eyes at me, taking more time to decide what I wanted to order. Also, I didn't want to make all my friends eat in a place they don't want. But at the same time, you don't want to compromise and be stuck with a plain side dish or a drink just because all your friends want to go to a meat restaurant, let's say, or other place. My best advice is to do your research beforehand. So what I did was check the menu online in advance. If you can't find anything online, which is pretty rare nowadays, just call the restaurant. I know it sounds obvious, but it really does save time and unnecessary stress. There are also great apps today which can show you a ton of restaurants with vegan options in your area. But what I realized about France as the years went by is that the place or the activity is not really that important. What's more important is the people that you hang out with. And if those people don't make you feel comfortable, if they bring you down instead of lifting you up, then man, you should really start thinking about changing the circle of your friends. You're a diamond, and you deserve being surrounded with the highest quality diamonds in the world. So let's recap. Being vegan can feel isolating at times, but it does get easier. As the weeks went by and people saw that I was sticking to it, that I hadn't died of protein deficiency, that I was thriving, building muscle mass, getting healthier, and becoming a better version of myself, it wasn't an issue anymore. People actually saw veganism in a positive light. Over time, the people who know you well will learn to accept this change, and you will learn how and when to engage others. It is always an option to change the subject if someone is making you uncomfortable. And don't forget, don't make people feel like you're judging them. Be confident with what you believe in. Be kind. Educate yourself. Educate other people. Lead by example. No one is perfect. Even people who may think eating meat is wrong may have difficulty making a change for many reasons, and that's okay. Breaking the old habits and rethinking what actually makes a meal is not easy. That's why they need you for support. Thanks guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, share it with someone, comment below, introduce yourself, and share your tips. They might be really valuable for someone else. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you on the next video.